Hey everybody, if you haven't seen part 1 of this, I would recommend going back and watching that first. But here's a little recap of that. So basically we were just looking at the major scale in double stops, or the major scale in chords essentially, and approaching scales in a term of like seeing it in chords as opposed to just singular notes. And the reason this is cool is because it helps your mind get into it kind of rewires your mind in a way. It just makes you think of it not in terms of modes and positions, but as opposed to like one fluid thing. And that's how I do it anyway. But so we're just continuing that. So we looked at how to go up in double stops in the key of G on the E and the B. So we did this. And then we did the G and the B. So we went. And then we did the G and the E. Now we're going to look at it with the D and the B, and then we're going to do the D and the G, the A and the D, and the E and the A. So, D and B strings, key of G, major scale. You're going to start with simply D and B. So that's your G. Then your 2, your A minor. It's looking like this. So your middle finger's second fret of the D, first fret of the B there. So we're on the D and the B string. So there's your G, your A minor, your B minor. Let's just move that up. Now you're going to have your C major. And then you're going to have your D major, your C major, or I'm sorry, your E minor. And then you're going to have your F sharp diminished. And then your G. Okay, so that here it is again. G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp diminished, and G. You can also look at it in numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so there's that, and then now your D and your G. So we're gonna start here. So you got your middle finger on the 5th fret of the D, first finger on the 4th fret of the G. You're starting there. There's your G major. Now your A minor. You got this here, and then your B minor. There's that. Then your C major, your D major, your E minor, your F sharp diminished, and then your G. Let me do that again. G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, G. Alright, so there's those two. Now on your A and your D string, you're going to start here. So you have your middle finger on the 10th fret of the A, and then your index on the 9th fret of the D. So you have G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and then back to your octave. Kind of high up there. So this one is just exactly the same kind of fingering as the D and the G. You're just starting in a different position, because right here when I started on the D and the G, my root note is here. That's my G right there. So I have my G chord. Right, my G double stop. When I start on the A, this is a G. So you have G, you have G. So I'm really literally doing the exact same fingering. It's just starting in a different position, and they're on different strings. Okay, now on to the E and the A. And now this is the exact same thing like I just said, except you're starting here. Here's your G, here's your G, here's your G, here's your G, here's your G. So if you can find the root note of whatever note or key you're in, then you can form the double stop around it. That's kind of the idea of this whole deal. All right, so if I'm going to do this one for you. So we got G, middle finger on the E string, 3rd fret of the E string, index on the 2nd fret of the A. Starting here, there's your G chord. Here's your A minor, your B minor, your C major, your D major, your E minor, your F sharp diminished, and then your G. I'm not just trying to show you the scale, like, per se. Like, I'm not just gonna, like, here's how the major scale goes. Like, the reason I'm showing you all this is because now that you know how to play the entire major scale in double stops, you know every single fret on the fretboard. Now you can see the whole thing. Like, if I wanted, someone's like, play G major solo, I could be like, okay, here's my G string, right? And here's my G note. I have this chord, and then, oh yeah, I could also do this and this, and I actually could go that, I could go that, so like, all that is just coming from knowledge of just knowing the double stops. Now, in my next video, I'm going to expand upon this more, and then we're going to look at different modes now within that. So instead of thinking of modes of just like, here's my Phrygian scale, da-da-da-da-da-da, I know how to play it right here and right here only, you're going to take what the knowledge I just showed you, and we're going to kind of look at it in numbers. So like you have your 1, your 2, your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, your G's your 1, your A minor's your 2, your B minor's your 3. And then modes are just essentially flattening or sharpening certain numbers. So like, this is just a little sneak peek for the next video. Like, if I want to play G mixolydian, you're going to flat the 7. So that F sharp diminished is no longer going to be an F sharp diminished. It's going to be an F major. So essentially you would have, like, if I was going to do this real quick, like you have your G, A minor, B, and then usually it would go like, you know, G, A minor, B, and then if you went down, it would be your F sharp diminished. So like G, F sharp diminished, E minor, D, C. But if I'm going to make this mixolydian, it's going to go G, F, E minor, like that. So like, and then we get into a whole world of other cool stuff from there. So stay tuned for the next one.